In my opinion, on what I've seen, a player that hasn't went through the road or the journey to a Super Bowl needs a coach that has been through that journey, in my opinion, because you need to be able to pull from something. You need to be able to pull from something. And that's what I feel about the Cowboys organization. I went, we had a great conversation, with a content creator. He's an OG. I respect him a lot. And, he thinks that the Cowboys are a bunch of chokers. Well, you have directly the organization to look to blame for that. For the simple reason being, who has won a Super Bowl? Jerry Jones has won 3 Super Bowls, right? Well, that tells me he should understand what it looks like to be a championship winning team. Obviously, he's not really interested in doing any of that, because if he was, he would bring in the coach that has experienced that. He tried to groom Jason Garrett. That didn't work. Jason Garrett ain't got nothing to pull from other than, well, he was a backup to those championships, but he wasn't one of the reasons why they went to those Super Bowls. So I just feel like he didn't have the experience to pull from either, other than, he was under Jimmy Johnson. But with that being said, I still feel like he hasn't done it as a coach. He hadn't did it as a coach. Mike McCarthy has, but he was outdated. You know what I mean? And, some people say, well, Jerry didn't give Mike McCarthy everything he needed either. And one can agree with that. But, yeah, I mean, how do you expect the players to become winners if they not led by, they don't have a program of winning, especially with the head coach? Because you need to have that coach in situations like, perfect example, the reason why I was out with Mike McCarthy. Now, this is a championship head coach saying the guys were nervous. Well, that just don't make sense to me, because as a coach, as a head coach that has experienced a Super Bowl, you should be able to have those guys to where they not feeling nervous. That's why your championship pedigree should come from. That's why I was out with Mike McCarthy, because, like, how have you won a Super Bowl and you can't get these guys, they can't pull from your experience to help lead them in a championship way? Because that's what Kim Mulkey has been able to do.